Elementary Art Project-Based Learning by Mackenzie Conradson. If you're interested in using project-based learning in your classroom, here's a great project you can use for inspiration. This lesson was created by Susan Hunt. During my second semester of student teaching, I got to work at 2 different elementary schools in the art classroom with the same mentor teacher, Susan Hunt. She created this great PBL art lesson plan and used it in both schools with grades 3rd to 5th. This project is called Positive Persuasion Project. I think it would also work really well for both middle school classrooms and high school classrooms. She started out asking each student this prompt: if I could make a difference right now, I would like to show people they could blank. Some things that the students finished the sentence with was stop bullying, save the world, save animals, and be kind. Here are some examples or inspirations that was shown to the students to get them thinking about what they are going to create. We wanted the elementary students to think of some issues or problems they have seen in the world today and then start thinking about what type of poster they could create based on what they are passionate about. These next 2 slides show some student artwork that were created using this project. One of these students wanted to make a statement about keeping our waters clean. This student used words and images to explain why this was important to them and why it should be important to others as well. Other students chose to do their project on endangered animals and did a great job at drawing a couple of those animals that were important to them. It is also important to give art students vocabulary so they can reference them while they begin the creation process. For this lesson, the vocabulary was media, which is materials you use to make your art; composition, which is how you arrange your artwork; focal point, which is usually the boldest part of your art that the viewers will notice. These next 4 slides is the project packet that every student got for this project. The first page of the packet gives a small intro into the project. It explains the Colorado art standards, which are to look, to think, to make, and connect. It also has learning targets for the unit of the Positive Persuasion Project, which are I can make a difference by showing my ideas in art, and I can show craftsmanship in my use of art, media, and concepts to share those ideas. On the second page of the project packet is where students start thinking. They already did the look step by looking at the project examples and inspiration. They then need to think of some things that we could improve or change in our school, our community, our country, or our world, and list them. Then they will fill in the prompt. If I can make a difference right now, I would like blank. When students got to this page in the packet, they continued the thinking portion while starting to get into the making and creating. Students were expected to create 2 different idea drawings based on what they came up with on the page before in their packets. They also got to decide what media they would like to use to create their poster. They can use drawing, painting, or collage, or mixed media, which is the combination of either of those. Once they got their 2 drawings, they picked one to use for their final project. Then they got their final paper. Students were allowed to choose what size of paper they wanted to use. All posters needed to fill the space, they all needed to have a message, and they all needed to have color. When the students were all finished with their Positive Persuasion poster, they filled out the final page, which is the artist statement page with prompts to help them explain their thinking. They needed to write their artist statement, what they were trying to convey, and how they did that. This page also has vocabulary words on it so that students can write about how they used each of those in their art. This art project-based learning for elementary students was very successful in my opinion. The art teacher that created it did a great job at letting the students have a lot of choices and freedom, which is hard to do with elementary students. It was so cool to see how passionate these young students were to create their project. When we put up the school's art show, a lot of the students chose to display this project in the hallway.